Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the exact same experience and walk away with totally different stories about what happened? One person might say, well, that was amazing. And the other says, that was awful. So who's right? Both of them are right. Why? Because you do not see the world as it is. You see the world as your brain lets you see it. I'm Dr. Denim Slade, and building on my nearly 30 years of experience, I've created the new C.O.R.E personality model to help you learn how to authentically incorporate you into your life and your relationships. The truth is that your brain is constantly editing your reality. Literally, every second, millions of bits of information flood your senses. And it's your reticular activating system's job to decide what of all that information is going to make the cut. So you can kind of think about it like a film editor. The film editor decides which scenes to keep, which ones to delete, and what you end up with is kind of a highlight reel that actually matches your focus and your beliefs. If you believe that people can't be trusted, then your reticular activating system will cut out the kind gestures and all the information that says that people should be trusted and zoom in on every disappointment that happens. And if you believe that you're not enough, then your RAS will mute compliments and amplify every moment that feels like failure or data that you're not good enough. It's not that those other things didn't happen. What's going on is that your brain just isn't tagging them as relevant. So they get edited out of your awareness. And here's the key that I want you to understand. It's not that the data points that you're noticing are the only data points that exist. The reality is that there are thousands, if not millions of data points out there. And what's happening is that the other data just isn't making the cut. Your brain isn't tagging them as relevant, so they get edited out of your awareness. And so what can happen is that's how you can end up living inside a reality that quietly confirms your fears over and over and over again. When this happens across time, you start seeing the same frustrating patterns play out in your life over and over again also. The same kinds of relationships, the same stress triggers, the same outcomes. And it's not the world doing it to you. It's your filter. It is your brain, your reticular activating system, replaying the same highlight reel over and over again. This is one of the reasons why people say, I feel misunderstood. It's not just that nobody gets you. It's that your brain is showing you a version of reality filtered through that lens, filtered through your beliefs and your emotions, filtered through your temperament. You're not crazy. Your brain is just looking through a lens that's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Protect you, even if it limits you. In the C.O.R.E personality model, we talk a lot about how every person's brain runs on a different internal logic, a different filter. Your reticular activating system doesn't just listen to your beliefs, it also listens to your temperament. I want to show you how that plays out, both when your filter is stuck in survival mode and when it's working for you. Okay, let's start looking at the C. C stands for comfort and connection. C's are the feelers among us. The C brain is filtering for connection and emotional safety. So when you start to get stressed or when you're feeling insecure, your reticular activating system starts zooming in on any and everything that might mean rejection or tension or disapproval. You can end up reading distance where none actually exists. But when your filter is healthy, your brain does just the opposite. It starts highlighting moments that are there, moments of warmth, moments of care, moments of understanding. You find yourself noticing the smile across the room, the text that said, hey, I'm thinking about you, or some of the quiet ways that people do show up for you. When you're in a good place, your RAS automatically helps you feel seen and to build the safe and meaningful connections that you crave. All right, now let's talk about the O. O stands for optimism. You O's are the idealists among us. Your brain naturally filters for fun, for freedom, for opportunity, for good energy. And when you're stressed, what is your RAS going to do? It's going to start spotting everything that feels heavy or like hassle or boring, anything that feels restrictive or like a drag. And when this is the case, It starts to make life feel really flat and mundane, joyless even. But when you retrain your filter, when you're in a good spot, it begins noticing just the opposite. Inspiration, laughter, opportunity, those sparks that make you feel alive again. You start to see creative solutions instead of roadblocks. And your RAS becomes a magnet for lightness, possibilities, and experiences that feed your joy. Now let's talk about the R. R stands for resolution. You R's are the doers among us. Your brain naturally filters for movement, progress, and control. So when your RAS is tilted by stress, it tends to fixate on obstacles, on inefficiencies, on frustrations, on anyone slowing you down. And frustration ends up taking over. But when you're in a good spot, when your life is balanced, when things are going well, or when you direct it, your brain does just the opposite. It highlights momentum. It highlights progress. It notices and highlights small wins. You notice where progress is happening and how your actions are actually paying off. In these moments, your RAS becomes your personal progress tracker, keeping you focused, keeping you driven, and moving forward with purpose. Now let's talk about the E. E stands for exactness and excellence. You guys are the perfecters among us. Your brain filters for accuracy and order and improvement, naturally noticing and looking for ways to make things better. You've probably noticed what happens when you're tense or overwhelmed. Your brain will magnify flaws and imperfections until nothing feels good enough, until you're only seeing everything that's going wrong. And that loop ends up draining your confidence. But when your filter is working for you, when it's healthy, your RAS helps you do just the opposite, helps you see structure and clarity and growth and opportunity. You start noticing what's right and what's moving forward, what's solid, what's dependable and improving. Your brain becomes a precision tool that helps you refine things with excellence, not with criticism, and take pride in what's already working well. Every single core type has a natural bias in what their brain considers important. Your reticular activating system works through that bias, whether you want it to or not, which means that your temperament, your personality, actually shapes your reality. The good and bad of the RAS is that your RAS will always find evidence to support what it thinks matters most. When it's focused on the negative, it'll actually keep the things like connection and opportunity, progress, and peace and emotional organization that you want. And if you train it to focus on what fuels your temperament, safety for C's, joy and fun for O's, progress and movement for R's, and clarity and excellence for E's, then your brain will naturally serve up to you, will point out the data points to support those things that you naturally want and are looking for. I want to give you a bit of a wake-up call here. If you find yourself continually ending up in the same patterns, the same fights, the same burnout, the same disappointments, the same isolation or loneliness, the common denominator here is you. And I'm not saying that in any sort of blaming way. What I wanted to do is I want that to be empowering, because the reality is that the moment that you understand how your brain edits reality, that's the very moment that you can stop reacting to the movie and start rewriting the script yourself. As you begin to retrain your reticular activating system, you literally begin seeing a different world. Not a made-up world, not a fantasy land, but just different parts of the world around you that are already there. One that includes opportunities, grace, and connection that were always there. You just weren't filtering for them. Your brain wasn't noticing them. Your subconscious brain wasn't delivering them to your conscious brain. Here are a few things that you can do to start this process. First, notice your highlight reel. What do you tend to notice first? Do you tend to notice problems, feelings, tasks, mistakes? That's your filter showing itself. Number 2, question the cut. What might your brain be editing out that doesn't fit your old story? Number 3, refocus very intentionally. Start telling your brain what to look for instead of just letting it do its own job. You want to notice gratitude, progress, calm, support? Tell your brain to look for it. Whatever it is that helps you move forward, you'll be amazed at how fast the world starts to look very differently when you train your brain to look for something new. Your reticular activating system is powerful. It can either keep you trapped in an old story, or it can help you write a better one, a new one. If you're ready to find out how your unique core temperament filters and shapes what you see and how you experience the world around you, how you experience life, take the free core assessment and start retraining your brain to work with you and to stop working against you. Because once you understand your wiring, you stop being a victim of your filter and you become the author of your reality. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe in order to keep learning with us. You can also check out our Facebook group in the description below.